Shyam sir.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, good morning everyone and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today we are presenting webinar on Leadership Summit the Mountain in You organized by Parul Polytechnic Institute, Parul University. I, Vaishali Nathwani, would like to introduce today's presenter, a transformation leadership coach, Colonel Shyam Vijay Simha. He is a dynamic and mission-oriented Army officer who is always ready for exploring new opportunities to shape career to new heights. His presentation combines storytelling and audiovisual aids to convey the critical importance to leadership. His stories sets the stage for motivation to students who fear about failure and helps them to act their time, expertise, and skills to build what they dream of. Jai Hind, sir. It's our privilege to welcome you here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We can start the session, sir.
In 1942, during the Second World War, am I audible now to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In 1942, during Second World War, there were two brothers who were doctors who were picked up by Nazis from Vienna. Their only crime was they were Jews by religion, and they were sent to the concentration camps at Auschwitz. The younger brother was sent to Auschwitz. The older brother, the elder brother, that means, was sent to a separate concentration camp. Unfortunately, the elder brother died in the concentration camp. The younger one's mother died in 1943. The younger doctor's wife died in 1945 when he was released from the concentration camp. That is a time when Nazis were defeated by the Allied forces in 1945, and the concentration camp was dismantled and all prisoners were released. During his tenure in the concentration camp, the doctor was subjected to various levels of humiliation, torture, and a near death incidents many a times. However, the doctor survived, while many of his friends who were taken along with him couldn't. Most of his friends, most of his roommates died in the concentration camp. The concentration camp in which he was housed, his room was 10 by 10, in which 60 people used to live. In a 10 by 10 room, there were 60 people housed, and people used to die day after day. However, this doctor kept himself alive with a hope to see the outer world, to see his near and dear. He always constantly kept telling himself that he will survive. He always believed that he can make it through the concentration camps. He always held his hope and faith so high that come what may, he wanted to see a free world. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Colonel Shyam. I am an army officer. I welcome you to embark your journey in summiting the mountains in you. The doctor whom I was talking about is the renowned psychologist of the world, Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl is rated amongst the elite psychologists. Sigmund Freud, Albert Elder, and then comes Viktor Frankl. Irrespective of the hopeless situations he is put in, irrespective of the circumstances which were forcing him to either commit suicide or collapse and die, he kept his hope and faith in himself and came back as a free man to give us various works in neurosciences and psychology, and he rose to a level of the most elite and sought after psychologists in the world. So, why am I saying this story to you? It's a very simple thing. Whenever we start our journey, right from the childhood till whatever we are now, every step in our life, we have always felt we had faced the problems. We have always felt that whenever we were supposed to be writing the examination or joining a new class, the syllabus inadvertently changes at the last moment, leaving us in lurch. Most of the times, we always felt that why me? Why only me? Why not the rest of the world? Why not my previous batches? Why only me? There are so many mountains which challenge you in your life, wherein you tend to give up at the start of the vision or at the start of the look at those enormous mountains. So, what are these enormous mountains which are there in us, which are limiting our own ability to scale our peaks in our career, in our life, in our chosen fields? Let us see. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the enemies within us? Whenever we embark into any of the journey, the first thing which we do is we understand what happens to us in the journey. What are we supposed to be having? What are we supposed to be fulfilling to reach our destination, embarking this journey? So then comes, what are we lacking in us? So the common phenomena which most of the people lack is confidence in themselves. They always feel that somebody else, probably his own batchmate, his own classmate, a benchmate maybe, his colony mate, his cousin, his brother, or somebody else is better than him. He always feels, or she always feels, that probably they are more knowledgeable and hence they are more confident. Lack of confidence is the first enemy which we face. That is the huge mountain in us to scale. Next comes faith. Confidence leads to faith in yourself. Come what may, I will reach the summit. Come what may, I can scale this mountain. Is your faith. Come what may, I will succeed. What is your faith? So once you start your journey, you have to have immense faith in yourself. Faith now slowly drops into belief. When you start a venture, when you start a thing, when you join a class, when you start going to take an exam, the first thing is belief in yourself. Yes, I can do it. Next comes passion. How passionately are you attached with your goals? I am supposed to be doing this is one word. I will do it come what may is a second word. The second sentence says your passion. Your commitment towards the goal is what is called your passion. Day in, day out, you keep dreaming about it. Swami Vivekananda said, pick up an idea, live that idea. Whether you eat, sleep, drink, whatever you do, that idea should be paramount in your mind till such time you achieve that idea into reality. Next comes discipline. To achieve all the above four, what would you need is a discipline. Is a disciplined path which you are supposed to tow to the summit. For all these things, you have to have clarity in your mind. You have to have a complete, clear vision of your future. You have to have a complete road map as to where is your destination and how are you going to map the dots. The fog, even in war. I come from an army background, so let me explain it to you in my parlance. A fog in war is like this. You don't know the enemy is attacking from which direction. You're lost. All your soldiers are lost. Everybody feels that the attack is coming on him. However, your enemy probably is meaning to attack at only one point. So what happens when you spread all your energies, all your soldiers all across the place? It is easy for your enemy, that is your opponents, probably your lack of confidence, probably, or whatever it is, to punch a hole into your defense and dent your own belief. Enemy can punch the line of soldiers at a particular place and walk in with full strength, because enemy is only focusing on that particular point. However, because of non-clarity or lack of clarity or fog in the war, you have spread all your energies everywhere. You need to focus where you want to hit. Every student in his life or her life decides what to do. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a doctor. I have a friend. After our +2, when we were asking him, and we were all applying for our graduation colleges, we asked him as to how and what he wants to do. He was interested in various things. He wanted to do history. He wanted to do commerce. He was good in mathematics. He wanted to do science. But all the subjects cannot be clubbed together and can be done in colleges, right? So what has happened today? Unfortunately, my friend is working in statistical department of the government of India. However, he ended up not specializing in any particular field. He did BA history. He did BSc mathematics. He did BCom. He did BA economics. And he spread his energy without a particular focus into his field. So what is more important to understand before launching yourself into the field of battle is to understand your enemies. These are your enemies which you are supposed to be culling to embark to that summit in your life. Why am I relating all these things to mountains? Mountains are enormous. We all know they are huge. When you start climbing the mountain, your only aim is to reach the peak, right? When you start climbing the mountain, after about first 10 steps, you are more jubilant and you keep jumping with each step. After the 10th step, your energy starts sapping because the altitude starts increasing and your oxygen levels start dropping. After a few more steps, you will first start gasping for breath. Then you start counting your steps. And then you start feeling there is nothing here. Why am I climbing up? And with all great difficulty, when you climb the mountain on the top, you only find numerous other mountains ahead of it. And on the mountain, there is nothing. So why are we climbing the mountains? I will answer this question at the end of the session. So why are we climbing these mountains? What is the clarity? You don't know, right? When you start looking at the mountain at the first, you don't know. The enormity itself, that is the mountain here, if you think as your problem, the enormity of the problem itself dents your confidence, makes you lose your faith, makes you lose your belief, and so on and so forth. So how do we go about it? Let us see. So how can you, what can you do? The 5 W's you need to answer yourself. What? The first W is what? What is it? What is the problem? If you're a college student, what is the problem? The problem is to study and get through your final exams in good score, correct? So decide what is your problem. For some people, it might be like this. Probably he is studying. However, he wants to get into various other things. Probably he wants to bifurcate his studies right now and aim at a particular specialization. Probably he is or she is probably aiming at a higher entrance examination and he wants to focus more onto it. So find out what of you is propelling you towards that summit where you want to reach. Next is where. Where is it leading? Have you ever mapped your map, the route map, the dots which are leading to the summit? Which summit? First is where, and next is which summit. There are so many summits. Every subject, every field, every part of the society has got a summit. So which summit are you aiming at? Now, why are you aiming at it? Why? Once you reach the summit, as I told you, there is nothing there on the summit. You can find there's nothing there. It's an open sky up there, and down below is earth, and there is nothing there. And there are so many other mountains ahead of this mountain. So why are you trying to climb the summit? You want to do your MTechs. Why? Why MTech? You want to do your MBA. Why MBA? You want to pursue a particular career. Why that particular career? You want to lead a particular way of life. Why that way of life? Viktor Frankl quoted a single sentence which was famously annotated by Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche is again a philosopher who said this: if a man has his why, he somehow will make it to the top of that why. He somehow will survive to reach that why. So have your why. What, where, which, why. Now comes who. Ladies and gentlemen, the who is very important. You are supposed to achieve it. However, who are the people whom you want to seek help from? Who are the people whom you want to club in your team? Who are the people who are like-minded like what you are? Who are the people who are going to propel you without any other wavering thought in your mind towards your goal? So you need to identify them. So identify your 5 W's. Now, we always had this point. We always run into a competition with each other, right? I have to be better than that guy. I have to be better than this girl. I have to be on the top rank. I have to be better than this guy. There is a game called golf where each player is supposed to be playing with a foursome. It is called foursome. 4 people form a team and start playing against each other. However, the game is played to improve upon oneself. The game is played against his own self. The competition, ladies and gentlemen, is not with any other person in the world. It is with you. How better or what did you do to improve upon yourself from what you were yesterday to today determines your speed and pace on the route to the summit. How good or how better have you learned from the failures of yesterday to carve your path today makes what you are in your future. It is always a fight against your own self, not with anybody else. If somebody is achieving first rank and you are not able to reach that position, so it is not a problem with him, or it is not a problem between him and you. It is a fight you have to wage within your own self, wherein you would say that, okay, now next time I will be number 1. Next time, this is my goal. I will reach this place. Next time, I have these markers which mark my progress so that I can reach my success. Most of your Olympians, most of your Olympic players, Everybody had failures. None of them have started with a success. Have you heard about this guy called Boris Becker? 1984, he was an unseeded player. He was not seeded in Wimbledon, wherein the giants to the stature of John McEnroe and Jimmy Connors were playing. Boris Becker enters the arena and eventually wins Wimbledon as an unseeded player. After the winning of Wimbledon, when he was asked, he says, I focused myself on my own abilities and energies. I had immense faith and belief that I can hit any ball thrown at me. I can win any point. He said, whether it is playing world number 1 or whether it is playing world number 1000, my mindset said that I am a champion and I will take it point by point to reach my goal. And he became a world champion. So what does that mean? It means you have to better yourself from one day to the next day. By what? Learning from your failures. It doesn't matter whether you failed yesterday or not. It only matters what did you learn from that failure. Boris Becker was not born as world number 1, right? He was not born straight away with a cup of Wimbledon in his lap. He failed numerous times, but whenever he failed, he improved upon himself. He forged his willpower almost akin to steel. So what you need is that. This is what Swami Vivekananda says. The nerves of steel and will of iron will make you a champion always. We always fear what other people think. If I am in a colony or in a society or in an apartment, in a college, in a class, you always are afraid as to what your friend thinks of you. You're always afraid of what your colony mates call you. You're always thinking on how should I win the other guy around? How should you become almost as good as what they are probably, or almost as better, or to say to better them, or probably be a much better guy than what your neighborhood is or what your peer group is. Everybody wants to become a hero, right? Everybody wants to emulate the movie heroes, correct? So you want to become that. Just tell me and think once, aren't you good? Aren't you better? What is that one thing which is saying to yourself, wherein you yourself are conversing to yourself, saying that you are not better than the other guy? Who says so? Nobody. Why are you or why are we even bothered about what the other guy is thinking? He is not thinking. He has got numerous other things to think about. Correct? Why will he waste time on us? Why are we wasting our time on thinking about what the other people think? Half of our failures, half of our confidence, half of our dents in belief and faith are because of this fear of other people's opinion. A guy has a stage fear. He cannot walk onto the stage because he feels there is a crowd in front of him, and what do they think? They walk into a particular arena, they always feel, what do they think? Right? And then comes the question, who am I? They are better than me. Who am I? There's a guy called Raghubir in my team, and we were moving for an operation. This guy is a new recruit and he's just joined to us. So when he joined our team, he is physically fit guy. So we said he will walk the scout. That is, he will walk first in the column. However, he walked because we had a contact in a jungle wherein there were few terrorists we came across and we were fighting. There was a firefight which ensued. And this guy was shocked. He couldn't move. He just kept quiet. He didn't fire. It was with great difficulty we overpowered those terrorists and also saved him because he was walking first. When we returned back, when I asked him, Raghubir, what happened to you? Why didn't you fire back? He said, sir, You are also good. This is my first operation. You're also better than what I am. So I was just shocked. The way you were reacting, I couldn't react because I was just looking at you. You people were so good than me. That is a time when I took up this and I told him. We made him realize, in fact, what did I tell him? I just made him realize that you as an individual are unique. You have immense good qualities, much better than what this individuals as a team who are standing next to you. And today, Raghuveer is an ace fighter in our team. So it is foregoing this feeling as to what other people think of us. Raghuveer had this feeling that probably if he didn't walk the way we were walking, the other people of the team might think bad about him. Probably if he fired and it didn't hit the mark, the other people may snub him. So everybody here is thinking on these lines, and hence the dent. I only told him everybody is busy firing his own weapon. Everybody is busy looking at his own target. Why anyone is looking at you? Nobody is bothered. Everybody is focusing on his own target because he has to reach his own summit, correct? So you have your own summit, irrespective of what others think. Just think you are there and you are better and you are the best guy whom you know, and start walking towards the summit. You will surely get one. Now, these are the problems which we encounter in moving up. So what are those portions or the quantity of medicines which actually tell us as to how we need to focus ourselves and how we need to garner ourselves to reach that summit? Come what may, be cheerful. Your happiness, your smile on your face, your jump in your heart is the first step to victory. There is some bubble in you which should be telling you that yes, so much fun to do this problem. I understand it's a complex problem, but how many people get this complex problem? I'll give you an example here. We were on high seas with my team, and when you travel in a ship in a high sea, it is very difficult to balance in case if you are not a seaman, in case if you are not in Navy or a merchant Navy. There's a lot of things strike you, like seasickness, lot of humidity, and tiredness which take toll on you. So this one of our the captain of the ship, who is very dear friend to us, a senior officer, he took a round of the ship on the third day to see how the men were doing. Most of the men were inside their decks, either sleeping or probably resting or something like that. So he suddenly found two of my men standing outside, and he walks to them and he asks them, "How are you feeling this?" The first answer, the captain has already interacted with most of the guys inside the decks, and all of them have said that they were not feeling well, they had some problems, stomach upsets, a lot of humidity and other such things. These two guys were standing on the deck on the ship outside. So this captain felt curious and walks to them and asks them, "Why? I mean, how do you feel this? You're standing outside. Aren't you feeling sick?" These two boys answered to him, Rampal and Ashwin. They answered back to him saying that, "Sir, it is fun. Imagine people come here by paying huge amount of money." We were sailing towards Andamans that time. He said, "We are coming here free of cost." And what an experience it is. You see, in my entire life, I have never dreamt of sailing on a sea. Isn't it? So that is what gets you going. So he instantly became a champion of that ship. Be cheerful, come what may. Even if the flags are down and chips are down, you be cheerful. This cheer of yours gets your team going. Be a team man and start smiling at every single thing. smile at your problem, the problem becomes smaller. Remember this. Now become a go-getter. How do you become a go-getter? By throwing yourself at the bar. Nadia Comaneci is a world-class gymnast. We all know that. The perfect 10 in gymnastics first time was achieved by Nadia Comaneci. How did she get it? She was a weak, frail lady, weak, frail girl when she took up gymnastics. A coach said to her one day, how will you come to know what is your ability if you're sitting outside and watching gymnasts doing gymnastics? She was into parallel bars, right? So, sorry, she was into uneven bars. So her coach told her, just put yourself on the bar. You will automatically win. So she did the same thing. She just hung herself there on that bar, and she became a world champion. Become a go-getter. Have this mindset that you can win. Come what may, you can win. Start with this motive in the mind. Start with the end in the mind. Everything boils down to your attitude. Australian cricket team, when it walks into the cricket field, we all have witnessed, even when there is only last run to defend, they play as if there is a whole test match waiting for them. Champion mindset. This is what is called champion mindset. Come what may, we will not let go. Come what may, we will win. Attitude makes a difference. Have a champion attitude. Now for this, having a champion attitude and a champion mindset, you probably need to stretch your comfort zone. How do you stretch your comfort zone? Stretching your comfort zone takes a lot of things. Probably you are a happy-go-lucky guy who are getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning and starting your work, probably going late till 11 o'clock. Stretching your comfort zone means getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Stretching your comfort zone means doing a thing which you felt that you cannot do it. Stretching a comfort zone means trying that one thing which you always felt was impossible to you. Stretching your comfort zone is walking that road without your shoe or slippers when you know that it hurts your leg or feet. That is what is called stretching your comfort zone. Stretch your comfort zone. The picture you see here are men of my team. And these boys are standing on the top of a snowy mountain, right? It is not easy to stand there where you can't even breathe. They are carrying entire rig. So it is not easy for anybody. But when you stretch your comfort zone, everything becomes pretty easy. Remember, always compete. Be a staunch and a fierce competitor. Come what may, fight. Whether you win, whether you lose, doesn't matter. But fight as a warrior. Have goals. See, it is always good to have goals because these goals act as a compass to you to direct you towards a particular summit, right? So have goals. Aim big. When you aim big, what happens is to reach that goal, you improve upon yourself a lot of nuances which were pulling you down. So start aiming big. You will surely reach to a level which itself is big, whether you reach your aim or not. Now take risks. A lot of people will tell you, let us go by a smooth and a soft way on a path which has already been taken by so many people so that you are assured that you will reach a particular point. Have you ever flown a kite? Patang, kite. Kite always soars up in the sky against the winds. So try taking risks. You must take them calculatedly so that you reach to your destinations. Now, for those things to reach and have a champion mindset, what do you have? You have to plan, prepare yourself. You can't be a fastest 100-meter sprinter in one day. For that, you need to have a goal set and broken into pieces. Today, I will achieve 15 seconds. Maybe after 1 year, I'll reach 13 seconds. Maybe after 2 years, I'll reach 11 seconds. Maybe after 5 years, I'll reach 9 seconds. This is what is called preparation. Break your goals into small, achievable things. What your colleges and classes do. They conduct unit tests, quizzes, slip tests before you reaching the final board examination, so that you are thorough with that one particular chapter. They are breaking those goals down to you so that it makes you easy to reach your summit. Have mental toughness. Don't give up. Never ever give up. Have that mental toughness to stay on course. You see the picture ahead? It is very easy to see and feel that it is nothing there and people can climb up. It is Herculean task to climb this peak. One slip, your body is also cannot be traced. But the boys go up. It is mental toughness. You can do it if you think you can. The first and the foremost part in your body which gives up is your mind. Even before your body, the first thing it gives up, the thing which gives up is your mind. Even before entering the arena, the first thing which says to you whether you're a winner or a loser is your mind. Have mental toughness always. Imagine and think that you can achieve it and be strong in your mind. To imagine and discipline or to tune your mind, what you need is discipline. Swami Vivekananda beautifully quotes one thing: your mind is like a monkey, it keeps jumping from one branch to another. Now, how do you discipline them? He said few simple things. In winters, what would you like to have? A hot water bath or a cold water bath? Everybody will say hot water, right? So he says, very good. So who is differentiating between hot water or cold water? It is your mind. It is your senses which your mind guides, right? So he says, take 1 bucket of hot water and 1 bucket of cold water. Put 1 mug of hot water on your body. Your mind says, very good, and it feels very happy. Immediately take 1 mug of cold water. Even before your hand reaches the bucket of cold water, your mind gives n number of instructions saying, don't go there, it is very tough. But persist, go there. Take that 1 mug of cold water and put it on your body. You will shiver. This happens for the first 3 mugs. After that, with this practice over a period of time, what happens? You will not find any difference between a hot water or cold water. You have disciplined your mind. When you say something to your mind will listen. Don't go with your mind. Let your mind come with you. Practice this. For anything and everything, you have to be hale and hearty. You have to be taking care of your health, particularly in these times which the world is going through. Physical fitness is very important. A sound mind and a sound body is a sane man's saying. So follow that. Have grit and gut. Grit to hold on when everything is down. Patience and grit to hold on when everybody is saying you are a loser. Just hold on. Stay there. And gut to still go ahead when everybody is saying you are a loser. Still going ahead and doing it. It needs tremendous amount of gut. Imagine there's a guy who was passed out from IIM Ahmedabad and joined a wonderful company, was getting good pay, and suddenly decides that he doesn't want to do this. Quits the company in 6th month and walks out to start his own venture. For about 8 to 9 years, he was struggling to meet his ends. He was going every day in the morning on his old Bajaj Chetak scooter while his batchmates and classmates were flying in business class. And today, he is a proud owner of Naukri.com. Correct? So there are few things like this which you need to practice. With all these things, have immense faith in yourself. If you can't do it, who else can? If you cannot believe in yourself, who else will? You have to believe in yourself. You have to have that immense faith in yourself because you are unique and you are the only guy. Adaptability. Adjust yourself to the circumstances. Don't take much time. Be a fast mover, self-learner. Learn things, pick up pieces. Everybody is having pain. What do you think? If you are running a 5-kilometer race and the other guy who's also running 5 kilometers race along with you, do you think you only are having leg pain and your stomach pain? Everybody who's running this race have this. However, they endured that pain and they walked that one extra step. They became champions. Endure that pain, adapt to the circumstances, never lose focus, don't waver, stay course. That makes a lot of difference. One failure, what we do is we generally drop that idea of moving ahead and we start taking up and looking up for different avenues. No, you failed this, no issues, move ahead. You remember that old saying of Thomas Alva Edison? He said, I found out 1,000 ways as to how not to make a bulb. So he failed 1,000 times. How does it make a difference? Move ahead. Have a warrior mindset. Remember King Brutus? He continuously fought to get his kingdom back. Brutus and the spider story, 17 times he fought and 18th time he won it. So have a warrior mindset. Never ever give up. Have a focused approach towards your goal and achieve it. Now this is what I was trying to tell you. What will you achieve climbing a mountain? You reached a peak. So what? Don't climb the mountain so that people can see you. Climb that so that you can see the world. When you have climbed the mountain, what happens? You see numerous other mountains. It's a huge range of mountains, right? So that means to say there are many other such peaks which you have got still to claim and climb. So what does that mean to say? Have your feet firmly grounded, be humble, have humility, give respect to people who are on the other peak, whether it is small or big, whether they are higher than your peak or lower than your peak, right? Always break your goals one at a time. You have climbed this peak. The next peak is probably somewhere else. Before reaching your final peak, there might be numerous other peaks. So one peak at a time, one step at a time. Learn to survive. You have reached here with a lot of difficulties. En route to the summit, you will find lack of breath. You will find exhaustion. You will be fatigued. You find that I should give up. But you have to endure all these things. Find a way and means. Adapt yourself. Adjust yourself to survive and move ahead. For all these things, what you need? You need to be self-reliant. You need to develop yourself. The energy to climb the summit comes from within. You have to be self-reliant. Be detached. Don't get too much worried and bothered about what other people are thinking about you. You have come last in the class. How does it make a difference? It doesn't make a difference. You can get the next day is a new day. Start studying today and prepare yourself probably much better than what you are. You understood what is a mistake you have done the last day. So don't do the same mistake. Try, mend your ways and move ahead. Be detached. Be a constant learner. You have reached one pinnacle, one summit of a mountain. Probably the next summit needs a different skill set because it's a different mountain, right? So that different skill set needs a different sort of learning. So keep continuously learning. Imagine we all were listening to radios in yesteryears. Slowly came tape recorders. Then came CDs. Now is cloud, correct? So how do you think people have graduated? If you don't adjust, you will be exterminated. Remember this. Nokia is a wonderful example. Nokia phones ruled the roost in 90s, correct? In 2000, early 2000, 2000, you call it, till 2010 probably, Nokia was the top of the world. However, as the revolution of Android came into the market, you don't find Nokia anymore because they didn't graduate, they didn't adapt, they didn't learn that new skill to get into that Android business, right? Kodak had a wonderful film rolls. They were the best of the film roll makers and best of the cameras, which we used to have in yesteryears. We don't find Kodak anymore. We have all digital cameras, correct? They didn't go digital, so they were almost thrown into oblivion, correct? So remember this, every new mountain needs new skills. So update yourself, keep constantly learning, continuously learning. Remember this, go through what, grow always through what you go through. Every day is a new story. Every day is a new lesson. Enjoy your journey. Before reaching the destination, you will meet so many people. You meet so many other destinations. Enjoy your journey to your final destination. Don't think and sit tight that once I reach my destination, only then I will celebrate. Celebrate every single day. Tell yourself that I will celebrate today because I have achieved my goal. Have a daily goal. Today I'll wake up at 5 o'clock. You woke up at 5 o'clock, have a celebration. Today I'll wash my clothes. Celebrate that washing your clothes. Today I will run 10 kilometers. Celebrate. I will run 1 kilometer. Celebrate. Make your life a celebration. Enjoy every moment of your life. Remember this. I will come again and conquer you, because as a mountain you can't grow, but as a human I can go. Who said this? Edmund Hillary, when he lost several attempts to summit Mount Everest. He told Mount Everest, I will come back again. Whenever he failed, he said, I will come back again. Because as a mountain you can never grow, but as a human I can grow. How? I can amend myself. I can adjust myself. I can practice myself. I can learn myself. I can learn more things. I can improve my endurance. I'll come again, then I'll summit you. Someday I'll summit you. And he's the first guy to reach on Mount Everest. The same with your problems, the mountains which you are tackling within you. They cannot grow bigger than what you are. You are the person who decides as to how big they are or how small they are. How to summit those mountains is what your attitude decides. So be cheerful, have a warrior mindset, enjoy your life, and all the very best. With this, I finish my presentation and I'll close this presentation and I'll open my discussion or question answer sessions, what you call, so that you can ask me anything which I can answer. I mean, in the sense, I'll try and answer whatever your questions are.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am.
There are some questions from one of our faculty, Preeti Meghani ma'am.
Yeah.
The first one is, can comparison help us to improve, to be better?
Can
Comparison help us to improve, to be better?
okay. This question, ma'am, can comparison help us to improve? Comparison is always there. If you see, when I said you have to improve from what you were yesterday to what you can be today, that itself is a comparison between your level of performance yesterday and your level of performance today, right? So comparisons definitely help. Comparison with other guy is good if it is healthy. That is healthy comparisons. Like, I have to be like Bill Gates is fine. I have to be Bill Gates. I mean, like Bill Gates, even at the cost of pulling down that company. That is bad. I have to be that way to learn things in a right perspective, endure rigors, what he has endured probably, chart out your own way and methods as to how you can go up and then perform is of course a good thing. Comparisons are always good.
Thanks, sir. And second one is, how to handle disagreements within co-workers and motivate them to be
Okay.
work like a team.
Yeah. Disagreements, first and the foremost thing which we should notice is disagreements are the tools for success. Disagreements are the tools for improvement. If you don't disagree, that means you don't have solutions. There are only two people who do not raise their voice. One is an ignorant man who doesn't know anything, and sorry, one is a dead man who doesn't have life in him, and the second man is God, who has got all the answers. Disagreement is always a tool to improve. Now, how do you deal with this disagreement? Anything in the world, agreement or disagreement, can be sorted out by discussions. Let us understand the other man's perspective. It is not, see, if I write 9 on board on a paper and put it on a table, you're sitting across the table, For you, it appears to be 6. For me, it appears to be 9, correct? So there is a disagreement between you and me, right, ma'am? But
Yes.
at the end of the day, when we start discussing this and start moving to his perspective or her perspective, start moving, leaving our chair, not getting glued to our chair and authority or position, going into their shoes and understanding their perspective will solve the disagreement. It also wins goodwill to you if you are talking to a subordinate, because he feels, look at my boss or my teacher or my principal or my ma'am, whosoever it is. They are so good that they can come down, they are coming down to my level to understand me. So I have to put in my best. This is how you sort out disagreement.
Okay. Great, sir. Thank you. We have covered all the questions, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your valuable time.
It's been a great pleasure, ma'am. I hope it is of some value.
No, sir, it was great, great.
Thank you
We
so much,
like
ma'am.
the stories you shared.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. I would also like to thank you, the HOD of our department, Mr. Hemal Patel, sir, the HOI of our institute, Professor Jatin Vaidya, sir, and the director, academic director, Dr. Mahesh Bhatt, sir, and the president of our university, Dr. Devanshu Patel, sir, for motivating and supporting us continuously. Last but not the least, I would like to thank you all who assembled here today for this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.